Hello everyone. So welcoming you back in a new session of our Python revision tour 1 session 5. So we are already done with the discussion of the basic things like the introduction about Python and what all the advantages and the disadvantages, you could say the pluses and the minuses of this language. Then we covered the two modes of this language. We have the interactive mode, we have the script mode, and in which circumstances you have to go for interactive mode, and what all conditions are there which will in that conditions it's good to go for the interactive mode, script mode, interactive mode. So everything we have covered already in the previous videos. So today we are starting with some new um, operators. Actually, we covered in the fourth session, we covered the operators, membership operators, the basic operators, arithmetic operators, assignment operator, logical operators. Along with that, we did some of the new operators like membership operator and all. So let us start with the precedence in today's session. First, we are starting with the precedence of operators. So that's our first topic. So we have operator precedence. So precedence is what? You know very well what is an expression. So what is an expression? Expression is a combination of variables like A, B, C, and then some constants like 2, 3, 4. And you can see some more operators I am writing here. So this is called an expression. Okay. This is called an expression. And if you are storing a result of an expression into a variable, like suppose C is equal to this, then this whole thing will be converted into statement. Okay, this is the basic thing. Now the point is like what is the use of operator precedence? Precedence is like which operator will work first. Okay, if you can see in an expression, sometimes you have multiple operators, right? In this example only, you see we have the plus operator and we have the multiply operator. Now the point is which part of this expression will execute first, the one which is with the help of plus operator or the multiply operator. Okay, so that we can define with the help of precedence. The operator which will have the highest precedence will be executed first. So here like plus sign, you can see the plus sign, and if you will go for the general multiply, so actually multiply is having higher precedence as compared to plus. So this portion will execute first and then it will be added with the value of variable A, and the complete result will store into this variable C. So now you please check the precedence. I have taken some new types of operators here. So we have the exponentiation operator. You know the exponentiation operator is used to find the power. Like if you want to find the power of 2 to the power 3, so you will write like this. Okay, so this is equal to 2 to the power 3, but 2 to the power 3 directly we can't write it down with the help of a keyboard. So but this one is possible to write. Okay, so that you can do with the help of exponentiation. So the point is, if in an expression exponentiation operator is given, so that will execute first. Okay, then we have the tilde operator, we have the complement, we have the unary, plus and minus. Unary operators are working on single operand. Operands are the variable which you are using along with the operators. Like here you can see we have A and B. So these two A and B are operands. Okay. We discussed these things in the previous video also. So if you want to check what is operand, the operators and all that stuff, you can go through the previous video. Okay, the session 4. So I'll share the link in the description. You can just go through it. Well, unary plus will insert a plus sign and minus will insert a minus sign, and this will come on the second place. Now the third one is we have the multiply, we have divide, we have modulus, we have floor division. Okay, so multiply, then we have the addition and subtraction, right? So here you can see that addition and subtraction is coming next to multiply, division, modulus and floor division. So that means this is having higher precedence as compared to a normal addition and subtraction. Okay, so first the multiplication will take place. If with respect to the given example we will check, so multiplication will work first because this is given as third place and addition is given at fourth place. So this will be the fourth one. Then we have left shift, right shift, we have the bitwise and operator, and is also there. Then we have bitwise or, we have exclusive. Then we have the comparison operators. You know the comparison operators are also called relational operators, right? So relational operator, less than, we have less than, equal to, we have less than, greater than and greater than, equal to. So these four operators are coming after this bitwise operators. And then we have the equality operators, like this is not equal to, this is equal to, and you can use this also not equal to. Well, we have the assignment operators, which are also called shorthand operators. Okay, shorthand operators. So equal, then modulus equal, then divide equal. So if something is written like this, a plus is equal to b, so this is equal to a is equal to a plus b. So we are finding the addition of these two values and storing into variable a again. Okay, so this is a shorter way to write down this complete expression. That's what we are saying it as a shorthand operator. Then we have is and is not identity operator. Identity, we are checking that both are identical or not. And then we have the membership operators, in and not in. If you want to check a particular value is present in a sequence or not, we can do it with the help of membership operators. Next to that, we have the logical operators. Under this category also you have three sub operators. We have not, we have or, and. So this is actually used to combine the conditions. Okay, so if you are if you have, what you have to remember, if we have multiple operators given in an expression, so all those operators have their own precedence, and with respect to the precedence only those operators are going to work to find the result of an expression. Okay, so well, you have to memorize also this table, and this is from the highest precedence to the lowest. So arrow I am giving it downside, highest to lowest. Okay, so this one is lowest. So well, this is all about the operator precedence. Our next topic is expression. So expression, a small portion for expression I have already taken in the previous example when I was explaining you the operators. So it is a valid combination. It is a combination of what? Operators, literals and variables. Operators you know very well, like plus, like minus, like multiply, divide, flow, division. Literals are the constant, 2, 3, whatever the constant values are there. And variables are the variable in which you can store the values. Now the point is, we have some 4 expressions here. You can see the types of expression, or this is the categorization of the expression. We have the arithmetic expression, arithmetic expression. I mean everything, if you observe one thing in computer science, all the topics are interrelated. They are not the individual topic, right? So if we know what is expression, if we know what is arithmetic, of where we cover the arithmetic thing, then you can relate all those things. Again, I am saying, if you want to understand the expression thing properly, you should be clear with arithmetic operators, relational, logical and string operators, right? And that thing I covered already in part 4, so please go through it. So well, we have the arithmetic expression. Expression is a combination of operators, literals and variables. And arithmetic is operator. It's a type of operator used for mathematical calculation. So if I'll go for arithmetic operator, like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, flow division, these all are the examples of arithmetic operator. Now the point is, how can you relate it with expression to make one expression as arithmetic expression? So it is like, if in one expression, the expression is only a combination of arithmetic operators, like a is equal to b plus c multiplied by d divided by e, and modulus f. So like that, if any expression is there, okay, so this is considered as arithmetic expression. Why? Because all the operators which they have used in this expression are under the category of arithmetic. Okay, so that particular expression is called arithmetic expression. So I think you are clear with this. Now the relational expression. So if you are clear with arithmetic expression, now you can relate the same definition in the relational expression. Relational expression is with respect to the relational operator. So well, you should be clear with relational operators like greater than, less than, greater than equal to, less than equal to. Okay, so these all are the relational, etc. So if any of the expression is having only the relational operators, so that particular expression is considered as relational expression. Okay, so you can see we have the example, x is greater than y. So greater than is a relational or conditional operator. So that particular expression is considered as relational expression. Moving to the next one, we have the logical expression. So if you will go for the further categorization of logical operator, under this category you have and, you have or, and you have not. Okay, so if an expression the things are same only, you are using only the logical operators, is called an logical expression. You can see A or B, or is a logical operator, right? So logical expression. Moving to the next, we have the string expression, and string is a combination of characters enclosed in single or double quotes. In Python there is no difference in single or double quotes. So you can see we have one double quotes here, we have one double quotes here. And if you will go for the string operators, you have the concatenation operator and the replication operator. So this asterisk is a replication operator and plus is a concatenation operator. So this plus sign, please don't get confused, right? Again I am saying, please don't get confused. The proper explanation of the proper understanding of the operators is very, very important for this expression thing. Plus, if you are using with the string value, is considered as concatenation operator. Plus, if you are using with numeric value, is considered as arithmetic operator, right? So here we have a string, another is also a string, we are joining the string. Concatenation is used for joining the string and storing into another variable C. So this is called a string expression, because in this example we are using the string operator, right? So well, this is all about the expression thing. Moving to the next part, we have the type conversion. How can you convert the type? What is that type? Actually, type is data type. Okay, data type. So data type is all about, like, if int is there, so int is going to work for whole number. If float is there, so this will work for decimal values. Okay, so these are the data types. How can you convert? Type conversion is how can you convert one data type into other type, that is called type conversion. So the process of converting the value of one data type, suppose or integer or string or float or what all others are there, to another data type is called type conversion. Okay, so it is from one data type to other is called type conversion. Under this you have two categories, you have the implicit and the explicit. Implicit is actually going to work by the compiler itself, and explicit is forcefully you are converting it into another data type. So well, we have the implicit type conversion here. An implicit type conversion, Python automatically converts one data type to another data type, and this process doesn't need any user involvement. This is, I told you, this is actually done by the compiler. As such, external intervention of the user is not there. Automatically it will be converted into other data type. So please check it. We have here one integer value. Integer num underscore int is the name of the variable I have taken, just to make you clear. It's an integer value. I took int also. The value is 12. Then another one, num underscore floor, is for float value. You can see a decimal part is given. And then we are adding these two values and storing into a new variable. That new variable is num underscore new. So well, when you will check the data type, you know very well which function is used to check the data type of a variable. Type. TYPE, type, right? With the help of type, and then in bracket you can write the variable whose data type you are checking. Okay, so whose data type you are checking. So type and then variable. So if you will write like this, you will be able to check the data type of the variable, right? So here you please check. We have I've written here one print statement, and we have data type of num int, that is given in double quotes. So that means this will be the output as it is. It will display on the output window, and then I'm checking the data type of num underscore int. So you can see the value is integer only, so you will get int here, right? And the second one, you please check type of num underscore float, and this is a decimal value, so you are getting here float. Now you check the result of this num underscore new. So when we are adding one integer value with a float value, so if you will check the answer, 12 plus 10.23 will give you what? 22.23. So it's a float value, right? So when you will check the result of this, see the third one, we are just displaying the result of it. So it is 22.23. And when you will check the data type of this, we are getting float. Okay. So this is the automatic type conversion. It is not taking integer, it is taking float, because the result is coming as float. So this is called implicit type conversion. Okay. So next to this is explicit type conversion. So what is that explicit type conversion? So explicitly we are actually converting the data type of an expression or a variable. So this is explicit type conversion. An explicit type conversion, users convert the data type of an object to the required data type, the data type of an object to the required data type. So we use the predefined functions like int, float, str, etc. for the same. And now you can see the example here. We have first one is the integer value, and then we have a string value. String, why I'm saying this is a string value? Yes, because it is given in double quotes. So double or single quote, anything is fine. And when you will check the data type of this int, so you will get integer. You can see it int, okay? And data type of, now you can see the value, the original value is this only. It is print data type of num underscore str before typecasting. It is type num underscore str, which is a string only. So you are getting str. And now what we are doing, how to convert it into other data type. So you will give the, the variable here in brackets. So this is the variable and this is the required data type, right? Required data type, and then the variable you will take it on the left hand side. So well, you can see this value we have converted into integer. So num underscore str is 45, which is a string. So we are converting it into integer. When you will convert it into integer, you will get only 45, and that 45 without double quotes will store into num underscore str again. So now later on when you will check the value, now you please see we are finding the addition. So integer, the first value is 12, okay? Plus num underscore str, that also is converted into integer now. So this is now 45 and num sum is 45, 55, 57. So when you will try to display the value, it will give you 57, right? And the data type of this obviously in integer because we have converted it into integer type. So this is the way actually to use the explicit type conversion. You can convert the data type as per your requirement, as per the requirement of the question, the program. So that is called explicit type conversion. Okay, so well, I think you are clear today what we covered. So we actually have started from operator precedence. Okay, so how can you check like which operator will execute first, and then we move to the expression, where what is an expression and the types of expression we covered. Later on we move to another topic that is called type conversion. So the two types of conversions we covered, and how to differentiate these two. Okay, what is the implicit one by compiler and explicit by the user. So that's all for today's class. I hope you are clear with this, but still if you have any doubt, you are free to drop a message in the comment box. Thank you so much.